right, everybody, welcome to the Polk and Bobby Show. I'm here at McCool Garage getting ready to do the last cut and shut. I'm going to try to offer any tips that I've learned, and obviously I am no expert at this, so if you have any comments or ideas or tips of your own, be sure and let us know. So one of the first things I've learned is to find a comfortable place to sit, because you're going to be holding the tire together for a couple of minutes as it dries, as the glue dries. So also another thing is when you first make the first cut on the tire, now that's kind of nerve-wracking, but you want to cut right along the edge on one side, all the way around. So that way you have what I am calling a long side and a short side. And you'll see what I mean in a minute when I cut it. And that way when you cut your tire, you have a long side on the tread and a short side on the tread. Hopefully that makes sense. So let's cut up Bobby's first tire here. And just going to follow one of the lugs straight down. Try to cut straight up and get close to that lug. That's one of the tricks, is get a nice straight cut. Oh, that's always nerve-wracking, making that first cut. Cutting a perfectly good tire. And then I'm going to cut and try to stay close to that lug all the way through. Probably could have used better scissors, but hey, these work. And as you can see, getting right up against that lug. Now hopefully I'm not doing this too fast. The other ones I took my time on, and they turned out pretty good, especially after I did 7 of them. Now coming down along that, try to make a cut straight down, and voila, we've got one of the tires cut. Now one of the first things I did was take this tire and mount it on a 2.2 inch rim. Then I was able to measure at the bead and measure across the top. That one wasn't as important. The most important part, I think, is measuring from here to here after it's mounted on a 2.2 rim. That came out to 22 millimeters, and I've been cutting them about 21 millimeters. So when it goes on the rim, you almost have to stretch it a little bit, because I want to keep that bead tight around that rim. So we've got the first tire. So what I'm going to do is be a little careful. Now as you can see, this is the short side, and that's the short side as I'm calling it. I don't want to mount them like that. This one's the long side against the long side. So I need to measure about 22, or actually, like I said, 21 millimeters. This little pin comes in handy, but trying to get it right at 21. And I'll do that on both sides, from this side, and try to get it nice and comfy. Now I'm measuring the 21 at this top, the outside of the bead, I guess you could say, not the inside. So right about 21 and right there. So if you'll see, 21 is kind of in the middle of that mark, and then on these crawlers it's 4 lugs. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So right about there, make a couple marks. So I want to come straight down right there. Come across this one, try to stay close to that 21 inch mark, 21 millimeter mark. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to come down. So you can see I've got extra on this side and this side I'm going to go right up against the lugs. And my cut needs to be basically, looks like right on the inside of that one. And once again, try to make it a nice, clean, straight cut. And go straight up and stay along these lugs. And right there. Kind of going back and forth. Now, like I said, doing that bead and making sure that you are right about 21 millimeters. So before I cut all the way down, I'm going to double check myself, and it's kind of right in the middle of that mark. So that's a good guide. Come straight down that lug. And right in the middle of that. So now if I screw up, I still have some extra, but I'm pretty close to 21 millimeters. This one is right about 21, maybe a little bit over, so that's going to be good. Alright, so now I've got the tire that I cut, and as you can see, one side is short right up against the lugs, the other side has a long piece, and this one's just the opposite. So what I want is this one, the long side, to go right up against that. Now, one thing I've been doing is really taking my time here and trying to do some measuring, kind of guide it up. That cut looks pretty good close. That should look pretty good together. It looks like it's going to be a good fit right there. Short side. Still use some trimming. Just going to go from there to there to there. Maybe a little bit right there, some more. So I tell you what, this part can really make the difference when you start gluing them back together. Now see, I spilled glue and it's gluing to the other tire. Alright, let's move to this side. Let's see, Bobby, do you have a paper towel?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna grab one.
So things are going to match up pretty good up here. That one's going to take a little work. I might be able to still trim that a little bit.
Oh, I got the good blue ones too.
Okay, then all I'll need is just a little piece.
Oh, we got one.
Because then I can fold this up, get it nice and tight, and see where I spilt that glue. I've been trying to wipe that off so it'll dry and basically not get all over my fingers. Makes it to where it's not as pretty, but and get it to come together a little better. I could probably still trim that little piece right there. And trying not to cut too much. Okay, that felt pretty good. Alright, let's see how I can get this. Them, and you know, okay, probably a couple minutes there. I'm going to get the other side, and then we're going to take a break and let things cure a little bit. 3 little dots. And kind of spread it out a little bit. See if I can hold those nice and neat together. Dude, that turned out pretty good.
Good. I like it.
Now you can always tell, see how it looks kind of funny. It's not round and stuff, but man, when you squeeze it onto the rim, like, you know, like that.
That front side looks really good.
It really does. That one looks good. I mean, it's smooth across there. This one's a little off right there. Well, it could be a little bit of the lettering. A little off right there.
Well, you guys, somehow I lost the end of the clips for the cut and shut, so I'm just going to try and end it like this, you know. After a long day of crawling, shelled the housing off in this little plastic, you know, it's still up in there. Oh yeah, probably too much overdrive. But anyway, so here's the deal with the tires, you know, the cut and shuts. I only got one mounted up. I gotta buy foams or whatever, you know. So here's a regular 2.2. And let's see, what do we want to use? Here is some regular 1.9s. So, you know, regular 2.2, cut and shut 2.2, 1.9. 1.9 wheel, 2.2 wheel, 2.2 wheel. You can see the added ground clearance it's going to give you, but still not yet be as tall as a 2.2. And then I guess the main goal is to keep it narrow. You see how wide those are, you know, pounds per square inch. Alright, Polk and Bobby Show out. Thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button, please. See ya.